In this presentation, we're going to talk about SWOT and PSDLE models, financial analysis, and 3 recommendations for Amazon to consider. The 3 recommendations are about how to improve profitability, sustainability, and automation, which will be discussed more details later. According to our analysis and research, during the fourth quarter of 2021, Amazon's revenue increased by 50%, but the profit dropped to $3.2 million. Therefore, it is crucial for Amazon to solve this issue. Amazon can use cost management strategy to reduce its operation cost, including packaging and delivery cost. Secondly, sustainability is another important aspect. In 2020, Amazon announced the Climate Pledge Friendly proposal. Meanwhile, Amazon tends to reach a net zero carbon emissions across their operations by 2040 and operate with renewable energy by 2050. In order to achieve these targets, Amazon has spent a huge investment in sustainable. Thirdly is automation. Amazon can establish the smart warehouse using the robotic picker instead of some employees to reduce the labor cost. Therefore, there will be a lower operation cost for Amazon, which will help Amazon to have a higher profitability. With the innovation of this project, there will be more potential investors, leading to a capital increase. Meanwhile, Amazon should focus on its main market to apply this strategy, such as the US market.
Throughout the course of our assignment, we conducted a variety of analysis to determine both the internal and external environment of which Amazon is operating in. 2 of these analyses included the SWOT and PESTEL analysis. In our SWOT analysis, we identified the main strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The main opportunity which we have identified is a shift in the way in which consumers shop, moving from traditional brick-and-mortar stores to the online marketplace. This shift in consumer behavior was exaggerated due to the COVID-19 pandemic, forcing consumers to shop for essential goods online, avoiding human contact wherever possible. This increasing trend of online shopping is likely to continue after the COVID restrictions are lifted, as more consumers are becoming aware of the fast and reliable service which Amazon offers. For many people, it is now easier to use their Prime membership to get free one-day delivery instead of going out to the shops. The main weakness which we have identified is Amazon's current lack of eco-sustainability. Amazon produces both a huge amount of waste through their packaging and encourages overconsumption, leading to excessive waste products in a linear fashion. However, Amazon has recently been actively seeking to improve their sustainability, with goals set to reach carbon neutrality by 2025. One of the main takeaways from the economic analysis within PESTEL should be to consider the economic stability of the markets which Amazon operates in. Currently, Amazon conducts most of their business in North America. This should be seen as a weakness, as the economic recession within the USA would dramatically affect Amazon's revenues. Amazon must therefore ensure to invest into more economies and build their infrastructure in developing nations whose economies are beginning to boom. This diversification will limit risk to Amazon.
For the Porter's 5 Forces analysis, we found that the bargaining power of suppliers is low to medium. Amazon's business model relies greatly on a wide range of its suppliers, as without them it cannot serve its customers. If an Amazon product is produced by a few suppliers, their bargaining power increases as Amazon choices are limited. But as a market leader, Amazon can always threaten to remove a supplier from the marketplace and thus diminish the supplier's bargaining power. The risk of new entrants is low. Amazon is the largest online retailer in the world with over 100 fulfillment centers. Such economies of scale make it hard for new entrants to compete against Amazon. The entrance of a foreign online marketplace such as the Chinese Alibaba is a possibility. However, Amazon itself attempted to enter the Chinese market and failed because of cultural differences. It is therefore possible that Alibaba would meet the same fate in the United States. The threat of substitution is medium. Both the online and offline retail industry possess substitute products competing with Amazon, and customers can easily switch to competitors for individual products. However, they will struggle to find an Amazon equivalent selection of products on one website. To fight against the high threat of substitutes, Amazon needs to focus on its customer experience and competitive pricing. Competitive rivalries are medium to high. Both the high availability of substitutes and low switching costs represent a low barrier for customers to shop at another retailer, such as eBay. eBay is a platform that connects individual sellers and buyers. Their focus is on creating an auctioning community with a more second-hand focus. eBay is therefore more complementary to Amazon than a rival, but could become a threat in the future. The bargaining power of buyers is medium. As mentioned, Amazon's buyers can find similar products on competitors' websites at a reasonable price and low switching costs, giving them power over Amazon. On the other hand, Amazon's customer loyalty, fast and efficient deliveries, highly competitive pricing, broad product range, and high perceived value take away some of the buyers' bargaining power.
According to our VRIO analysis of Amazon, brand equity is one of the most important core competitive advantages that helps the company grow. Amazon's brand value increased dramatically from almost $140 billion in 2017 to $680 billion in 2021, as seen on the graph on the right. This was in part due to the lockdowns around the world caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, which resulted in a huge shift from shopping in brick-and-mortar stores, which was at times impossible, to online shopping. This benefited Amazon greatly due to them being the leader in the e-commerce market and attracted a large number of new consumers who, even after the pandemic, have continued to prefer shopping online rather than returning to brick-and-mortar stores. This is therefore a good indication that Amazon will continue to attract a growing number of customers and therefore fulfill a growing number of orders. This growth is shown in the annual turnover of Amazon in the UK, who before the pandemic started had seen steady growth between 15 and 35%, with 20% growth year-on-year being a conservative average. However, when the pandemic hit, annual growth from 2019 to 2020 absolutely skyrocketed to 64%. This rapid expansion did cause some operational problems, which meant that costs and the need for large investments in order to increase capacity meant that profit for the year dramatically reduced and was close to loss-making. However, as Tyler will speak about in the next slide, there are some solutions to this.
As presented in the financial analysis, Amazon profits have been a cause for concern to shareholders for quite some time. This is because the profit performance can be described as underwhelming at best. As George has pointed out, these underwhelming figures are the result of a poor operations cost management. These costs have been dramatically rising over the last few years as demand has grown exponentially as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and social trends leading to a higher level of online shopping than ever before. As Amazon has tried to adapt to this rising demand, the cost of operations has spiraled out of control. This can be seen as Amazon's advertising signing bonuses of around £3,000 at Christmas time in an attempt to attract new employees to work in the fulfillment centres. This is also a result of poor employer brand image attained by Amazon as stories have surfaced of poor working conditions within the centres. We recommend a more long-term solution that deals with both the issues of managing fluctuations in demand and the costs of human labour force. Amazon should move towards an aggressively higher level of automation within the fulfillment centres. We are now seeing robots that can perform all of the tasks a human warehouse worker can, without the need to take breaks. This can be seen within the picture on the right, which shows a car manufacturing centre which relies entirely on machines building machines. Amazon can adopt this strategy with machines picking and packing their products. Initially, the implementation of this will be very costly. However, we feel that the long-term benefits of this project justify such an aggressive move to bring costs down and profits back up. It is important to note that the innovative nature of this project will intrigue potential investors and impress current shareholders, with the project being in tune with Amazon's innovative mission, leading to capital being raised which can be put forward towards funding the project.
As we saw in our strategic analysis, one of Amazon's major weaknesses is its lack of commitment towards protecting the environment. Indeed, each year billions of packages are dumped into landfills and 60 million metric tons of CO2 are emitted into the atmosphere by Amazon. But with climate change being the world's biggest threat right now and investors raising their concerns towards eco-sustainability, Amazon's need to take bold actions to improve its environmental responsibility. So currently Amazon's actions towards this issue have been reaching a net zero carbon emissions across the operations by 2040, powering the operations with renewable energy, but also investing $2 billion in decarbonization technologies and $100 million in reforestation. But these actions are not bold enough, and one with a much greater potential is the transition from a linear economy to a circular one that you can see on the presentation. So Amazon currently operates through a linear supply chain, which is increasingly seen to be wasteful. When a customer no longer uses his product, this last one is simply disposed of and dumped into landfills. An effective way to counter this problem would be to close the loop by introducing recycling infrastructures near households and sending used items to be remanufactured. While this process has not yet been implemented into Amazon's supply chain, the company started to invest in closed-loop fund, which will divert 1 million tons of recyclable material from landfills into the recycling stream by 2028. But such a transition comes at a financial cost, and the shift from a linear chain to a closed loop will affect short-term profitability. However, it will ensure that long-term goals concerning Amazon eco-sustainability are met, thus attracting investors and driving profit in the long term.